So what's been in the news this week in relation to cryptocurrency? Shawna?
Well, my first story that I want to talk about today is Forbes reported earlier this week that hackers had hijacked Tesla's Amazon cloud account to mine cryptocurrency. And immediately I have questions.
There's a few. Other news, following the success of the petro in Venezuela, the state-backed cryptocurrency, some other countries such as Iran have come out now also saying that they are interested in having a state-backed cryptocurrency.
One of my favorite stories of the last couple of months was 50 Cent realizing that he is a Bitcoin millionaire. Will we jump right into it then?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to talk about first? Will we talk about Tesla?
Well, yeah, so I mean, Tesla hack, it sounds a bit kind of scary.
Well, I kind of wanted to know how is that even possible? Because it wasn't like a cloud account that was specifically for cryptocurrency. So how do you mine a cryptocurrency from something that isn't a cryptocurrency?
Yeah, like if I knew that specifically,
okay.
I wouldn't be sitting here. Okay, so what happened, I guess, is the way I read this story is that Tesla have an allocation in an Amazon web server farm. So they have a load of servers that are applying to crunching their own problems. But somebody's got in, or hackers got in, and have kind of leached off some of that processing power to mine cryptocurrency.
Okay.
That's usually what happens. It has happened in other instances. UFC, famously, one of their last big pay-per-view events, I think it was the Mayweather-McGregor fight, actually, that clever people realised that some of their smart TV processing power had been applied to mining cryptocurrency. Again, it's pretty cool. But it's sort of stuff, there's opportunities there for people to kind of safeguard against that. So this is the growth. All the innovation will be going into to make sure that sort of stuff can't happen, I suppose, in the future. You may have heard about in Venezuela.
Yeah, you were saying to me earlier.
So yeah, they famously had gone through a period of crazy inflation. No shit, communist country. So funny enough, they've decided to go for a libertarian solution to a communist problem by doing an ICO and launching a cryptocurrency, state-backed cryptocurrency called Petro, and they're actually already planning a second one. So I guess it's working out in some way down there. Mm-hmm. But other countries now are getting on board. Iran have also announced that they want to do a cryptocurrency. So interesting thing that both Iran and Venezuela share is that they're actually not backed by the World Bank. So might be a trend there, I don't know. No central banking, the way to avoid central banks. But,
do you see like more countries catching on with this?
I think as more currency, well, I don't know, with any currency, any existing currency has a lifespan, and no currency has ever lasted forever. So as soon as they fall over, and they will, people, depends who you speak to, but I mean the dollar, if you speak to people, the dollar's on its last legs. It's a massive period of it's about to head into hyperinflation. Don't worry, it's not today. But so if you look at the amount of money that's in circulation, currencies are going to start tipping over, and it's only natural then that they would use a cryptocurrency to reboot.
And would you see like more? Do you think there'll be more like nationalized cryptocurrencies, or do you think there'd be more within industries?
Again, I mean, sure. Look, that's the whole growth of cryptocurrency. Is I think it'll be potentially both. I think you'll have lots of cryptos beginning to speak to each other, and probably circumventing national currencies. I don't know if national currencies are necessary for that much longer.
The next one is my favorite crypto story from the last couple months, where the rapper 50 Cent realized that he was a Bitcoin millionaire. He'd released an album in 2014. I think he made something like $400,000 off of it and just like put it into, worth of Bitcoin. Like many of us just left it in his account and forgot about it. Yep. And then turned out he had something between $7 and $8.5 million worth of Bitcoin in there. And then when he was asked about it, he was just like, yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. Happens to the best of us. Other stuff I've been looking at, you may have heard of Tezos, a huge ICO from last year. Very successful in terms of how much they raised. But there were some issues with it kind of straight away, and it looks like one of those issues may have exited the foundation in the last few days. There's been a change of personnel there at the very highest level, so hopefully things will start moving there again, because it's a hell of a lot of money tied up in that in that foundation, and it would be nice to see something positive happen for the strong community that it built up. Yeah, so big changes there. Mm-hmm. Okay, so other stuff that was interesting this week, Telegram, the communication, the kind of WhatsApp, the messaging app that's used almost ubiquitously in the ICO, in the crypto space, for communication and team building, community management stuff. They launched an ICO that was kind of unusual in the last couple of weeks, and things kind of hit off. So thought maybe James, you had
Yeah. So I mean, it's funny as a group of community where they're all trying to build up a lot of different people inside of that community, and then all of the raise is currently being private. So the minimum allocation was $20 million. So the only people who are buying in are groups that are buying in with a minimum of $20 million.
It was like 880 million.
Yeah, 880 million raised so far, with a total cap of $2 billion is what they're aiming for.
So we all kind of thought that this year we'd see the first $1 billion ICO. That's already happened, has it? Or is it Telegram
Telegram's the closest.
Telegram's the so it's so you're talking about a $2 billion ICO. That's tenfold on what was considered. Tezos was what, 250, was it 250 million, and Tezos was the biggest at the time. So we're seeing sort of an exponential growth in the caps, in the raises that these ICOs are putting together. So interesting times.
It's interesting as well, because I think that for these companies that are raising a lot of money, there's a lot more downside for the average investor. So if you're raising $2 billion and they don't actually produce anything, it can fall a long way versus a company that raises $10 or $50 million.
So yeah, there's people are kind of exploring a bit more about why they want to raise so much money, and with great wealth comes great responsibility, and you turn into a foundation, and you turn into all these things that you didn't want to be in the first place. So that's it for now. We've got more news, more updates later on the show.